New video! So He's All That, the recent Netflix reimagining of the 1999 teen comedy She's All That, but this time with a social media influencer twist. Starring social media influencer, TikToker, and alleged singer Addison Rae. And I will be completely honest, I have no idea who she is. No shade to her, I recognize the name because I am obviously on social media, but I don't think I've ever seen a TikTok that she's in because that's clearly not the content that would be shared with me or that I'd be seeking out. I'm pretty sure she's one of the ones who blew up doing all the lip syncing and the dancing, so good for her. What has been going on in small town bars for decades is now turning people into like multi-millionaires. So when they first announced this movie, I'll be honest, I clowned a bit. Or maybe a lot. I think the original rumor was that this whole movie was going to be loaded with TikTokers, which just absolutely would have been a recipe for disaster, but I think Addison's actually the only one. And then I realized that this was being directed by Mark Waters, who may not have a perfect track record in the film world, but he is the director behind two of my all-time favorite movies, Freaky Friday and Mean Girls. And it was written by the same guy who did the original. And while I clowned, I won't pretend to be morally outraged that they dare touch this teen classic, because while I enjoy She's All That, it's not really in the top of the genre that it's in, even when you just narrow it down to other movies that were released in 1999. But something that does bring back those late 90s vibes from my early childhood is today's sponsor, Doritos. It wasn't available near where I lived as a child, but it makes me feel joyful like a child again. And you guys know the drill by now with Doritos quality. Glass bottles over plastic, made with real sugar, available in a variety of natural flavors like lime, watermelon, mango, and guava. If you can't decide, they have a mood pack available with 12 delicious flavors for your taste bud enjoyment. But with summer coming to an end, Doritos wants to keep the good times rolling and give you the opportunity to win a next-gen console. So for the next week, I will be running a sweepstakes with Doritos so you have the chance to win an Xbox Series X. No purchase necessary, just click the link down below and follow me and Doritos on Instagram to enter. So just to lightly go over the plot to the original She's All That, it kicks off with school president Zach being unceremoniously dumped by his girlfriend who left him for a reality TV star, and then making a bet with his friends that he could take the resident school nerd Lainey and make her into a prom queen. But what he didn't expect was falling in love with her. But when you compare it to the other movies of the time, it just doesn't stack up. 10 Things I Hate About You did the bet aspect better. Yes, I realize that that is a modern retelling of The Taming of the Shrew, but still, it's an amazing movie with great performances that gut punches me every single time I watch it. Clueless does the makeover and Shallow Queen Bee story better, but I will say that She's All That has like a really nice moment around the makeover where Anna Paquin's character is like presenting
the new, not improved, but different Lainey Boggs.
I like that. That's a nice touch. American Pie covers the bet, college choice struggles, celebrity musician cameos, and the party stuff better. Leaving She's All That as the movie that has a really great all-star cast, some nice moments, some funny bits. But it just feels more cookie cutter. There's just nothing about it that really stands out, especially when you compare it to those other 90s teen classics. It's something that I'll easily pop on while I'm working, but if I had to pick a movie to sit and watch in that genre, that will never be my first choice. So I wasn't going into this worried that they'd tarnish the legacy of the original, but I did expect this one to be trash, so I was pleasantly surprised when this wasn't complete trash. I'm not saying it's amazing by any means. I'm probably never gonna watch it again after I finish making this video. I would probably give it a 2, maybe a 2.5 at most. So maybe that's still being a little bit generous, but I do feel like the target demographic's are really gonna enjoy this, and like if you're like a TikTok dancer fan, you'll probably have a good time. But I also found that it hit a few of the emotional aspects better than the original. In the original, Lainey's mom has passed away, so she's kind of just been put in this position where she's kind of taking care of her dad and her brother, but it doesn't really like linger on any of that, which is fine. I just think they could have like dabbled in there a little bit more. It's like in Twilight when they just gloss over the fact that Bella was basically taking care of her mom for her entire life because she couldn't remember to like pay bills or like cook food. Like super shitty, but it's like, oh, Renee's just young at heart. Speaking of though, I'm sorry I had to do it. I always had to talk about Twilight, but I also have this amazing shirt today, so like I had to do it. This is the skin of a killer, Bella. Obviously, I prefer the original, but this one actually wasn't a total dumpster fire. Like, it's pretty cute. It's no the half of it in terms of Netflix coming of age stories, but it is nowhere near the worst. I just remembered Sarah Burgess is a loser. Holy shit. This mainly just kind of vibes as like a Disney Channel original movie. It's not full Disney, but it also just never gets as edgy as like your classic 90s teen movie, which is a bummer because that's actually one of my personal favorite genres of film, so I would have loved something that had that kind of vibe. It's mostly just goofy as hell. Like, it doesn't seem to have the biggest budget. A lot of the dialogue is rough, both from how it was delivered and how it was written. But let's get into it. We obviously start off with Addison's character, Paget. At first I thought it was pageant, which I felt was a little bit too on the nose, but it's Paget, which is apparently in the family of Page. Neat. And she starts off in her very bright, very pink room, getting all done up before jumping back into bed to pretend like she just woke up for her TikTok live, as the influencers do. Because she's specifically a makeover influencer. So she always has to be on top form, even when she's pointing out that she didn't get enough sleep the night before and has to do all these things to like make herself look better. She's already like halfway to a full routine. Because that's the brand she's selling the world. It's probably better than my brand. Nah, screw it, this is awesome. So I tend to love movies that incorporate social media because I find some of them to be like very interesting, or they at least try to do things in interesting ways, but sadly this is not one of those cases. I actually find that to be the weakest aspect, even though it is like the basis for everything going on in this movie, is her social media prowess. But it also just seems like they don't understand it. Like, she's literally doing nothing special on a live stream and her following is just shooting up, shooting up, shooting up. And even though it does end up making like a larger statement about how people can get like so addicted to social media and how it can like dictate aspects of your life, I never really feel like I'm fully in that world. Maybe it's because I've just seen things that handle it better, even if they handle it like very differently. Say what you will about Spree, but the way they incorporate social media and the culture of it into that movie was just handled so well, in my opinion, visually and just thematically. This just comes across feeling like it's weird when you have people that like are that lifestyle trying to like make a comment on that lifestyle. But amidst all the glam of her room, her life may not be as perfect as it initially seemed. Her mom is a nurse, she lives in a much smaller house than she's letting people believe, but it's still pricey so they can keep Paget in that school district. And she actually helps contribute to bills so they can stay ahead. So like, other than the fact that she's gonna do some kind of horrible bet, she seems like a good kid all around. But her acting here does feel a little bit rough, like maybe that was intentional. I do find that it like gets better as it goes along, but like TikTokers by nature are not actors. So I don't remotely blame them. If I was approached to act in a movie, even if I thought it was gonna be bad, I would say yes. Hire me for voice acting, I'm sure I'm terrible. Now, one cool thing that I found they did was bring back Rachel Lee Cook, who played Lainey in the original, to play Paget's mom. And she can act, so she's a delight. I wish I could see her in more things, except for this slew of Hallmark movies. Oh, sweetie, what are you doing? Anyways, Paget has a boyfriend that she basically helped create that kind of seems like a Jake Paul-like character, but maybe it's just like a representation of all those like lip sync dancing TikTokers out there that just behave like this. But he makes bad songs and does stupid dances to those bad songs. And he's so far up his own ass, I'm surprised that he still has his blonde tips. For example, his song here is called Turf War in the 424.
He's being ironic, I think.
I think it's so funny that this movie seems to be making fun of the exact person they hired to be in it. Also, is this the girl that was the little girl in a bunch of movies? Oh, it is! Madison Pettis. Good for her. Was she in Cory in the House? I hated Cory in the House. But here's the guy that's inevitably going to be getting the makeover. And the dude kind of looks 25 right now. Like, that is not high school scruff. That's I'm an adult and didn't shave yesterday's scruff. But anyway, she's surprising her loser boyfriend Jordan on the set of his new music video with a croquembouche.
Bonjour, madame et monsieur. Voilà le croquembouche.
Amazing! What a weird pastry to have made him. I love it. So they get to his trailer and surprise, he's cheating on her while listening to his own song. See? So far up his own ass. So she flips out rightfully and her friend live streams the entire meltdown.
You don't deserve my croquembouche, you croquembouche!
That's why they picked it for the sassy wordplay. I'm on board. I love it. So the whole thing is a disaster, but she assumes that people are gonna be on her side. I mean, like, she's the one who got cheated on. But everyone is like, oh my god, I can't believe she pelted that poor girl Aniston with a pastry. Bubble Girl flipped out. Like, I get that her image is her brand, but I feel like for every person she lost for flipping out and being like, oh my god, I can't believe she pelted people with a French pastry, she'd gained someone who was like, oh my god, I can't believe she flipped out and pelted them with a French pastry. The other side here is that she feels like she made Jordan. She helped build his career, his social media, his image, and this is how he repays her? Then she gets a call from a Kardashian that definitely looked like Kim in the picture, but is apparently Kourtney, but like not actually Courtney in this, but she's the manager of the main company that sponsors her. And because she's suddenly become a snot bubble meme, they can no longer sponsor her.
I'm sure you can get another endorsement, maybe with an antihistamine company.
Can I just say that it's trash to have a Kardashian in a movie that deals with the fake nature of social media and issues with influencer culture? Like the family that's notorious for marketing all of these crap products to like make their bodies look better when you know that there is a very different reason why they look the way they do. So the stakes established here are definitely higher than the originals. My girlfriend cheated on me with a reality star, so now I'm gonna find a better person to bring to prom. She basically needs to prove that she can do it again. Take someone and turn them into prom king material. Prove that she can make someone's entire life over. But they make it more intense. Her friend here says, hey, how about we turn that into like the big bet we've always had but never done? Make him prom king or you lose. But they don't explain the bet here, so we'll just have to wait and see what the consequences are. So the one they choose for her to make over has to be the biggest loser they can find, which apparently falls on Cameron Queller. Now, before I watched this, for some reason, I thought this guy was also a TikToker, which is why I was very hesitant that the two main leads for this were not actual actors. But then I realized he's actually the dude from Cobra Kai, so his acting is not bad because that is what he does as a living. However, he also gets some of the worst lines to deliver, so at times he seems worse than he actually is.
Pretty sure that was me kicking your ass. Put a shirt on, dude. Posers call this music? Please. Get off, fascists!
But Paget decides to get the inside deets on Cameron from his little sister. And this is where we get the gem of a line from the little sister after she says he likes horses.
So like a cowboy, huh?
No, more like a horse girl.
Okay, like I genuinely laughed. I don't know why that was so funny, but I love it. But she shows up the next day to get a riding lesson from him and he says, sure, as long as you help me shovel some shit first. And of course she starts snapping some pictures of herself doing the work. And then he starts criticizing her for doing it, but like to be fair, that's actually her job. And like so much of us document every aspect of our lives regardless. Like I really needed everyone on Instagram to know that I was floating around on a Lapras pool floaty. And there's some fun discourse here, like even if it is her job, like there are some aspects to it that are just kind of weird when you stop and think about it. And I think we all realize that like a lot of aspects of social media are weird and not at all healthy. He points out that it sounds like she's describing a cult when talking about followers.
Not like a cult. Just people who are devoted to me and totally guided by my advice as to how to live their lives.
Yeah, but she ends up having a genuinely good time with this dude. And I think that, despite him wanting to hate her, he's having a good time too. I mean, she threw shit at him and he laughed. So because this goes well, he agrees to go to Quinn's pool party karaoke event at the insistence of his best friend, Nisha. And of course, this just seemed like an opportunity to have Addison Rae singing. Wait, did they heavily auto-tune her karaoke performance? Oh no. But then they're kind of mean to the girl who plays Quinn and make it seem like she can't at all sing when she was the winner of Thailand's Got Talent. The disrespect. Unless that was like intentionally a joke, but still. But she's singing all amazing right up until the point that her ex Jordan shows up with the girl he cheated with. So she starts bombing, so Cameron hops up to try to help her make it through, which obviously makes it on social media. And I love how this like one thing alone makes her just shoot up in followers. Just from karaoke. Is that all it takes? Do I just have to sing? Fly me to the moon. Okay, bye. I was singing to my cat and he walked away. But Paget wants to take off after this, so Nisha asks if she can take some KFC for the road, and Quinn's like, of course, and I really feel like these two are definitely gonna get together. Like, I felt something brewing when they were like, oh my god, are Cameron and Nisha dating though? And Quinn's like, no, I'm pretty sure he's gay. But she, of course, pulls the defensive friend.
If you do anything to hurt him, I'll put a croquembouche in your croquembouche.
Okay, croquembouche in your croquembouche was right there. Bouche in French is mouth. Like, why wouldn't you keep the wordplay going? So suddenly after this little karaoke hit where she amassed 2.6 million views, Courtney influencer here wants to reinstate the partnership as long as she can keep this momentum going. Honestly, I get that beggars can't be choosers and sometimes you just like need that money to get yourself out of a better place in life. But if somebody treated me like that the second I had a little downswing, I would simply just look for a different sponsor. All she did was call somebody a croquembouche. It's fine. Yeah, Rocket, exactly. So with renewed inspiration, she uses Alden's Drop It Like F. Scott party as the excuse to give Cameron this big makeover so he fits the Gatsby theme. Wait, why does he suddenly look like a Sprouse brother? Either way, Paget is into it. She is looking for that sweet life. I'm sorry, I'll stop. But apparently so is everyone else.
Hi, I'm Alden. Birthday girl?
Yeah, we've met.
Also, I love that they have to clarify that these are mocktails they're drinking. Like, I got the vibe that this felt like a Disney Channel original movie, but that really solidified it. I've never seen a Netflix movie specifically interested with dissuading underage drinking, so I don't know if it has something to do with the fact that Addison Rae's fan base would be very young, but still. We do end up getting a little bit more about what the bet means, and apparently it would be getting branded loser for life. So, like, do they need to get tattoos? I guess we'll find out. But I knew it! I knew they were gonna hook these two up! God bless this mess!
Now all they have is mango. I hate mango. It's a terrible flavor.
Okay, I get that some people might say, oh, they're really pushing it too far with this guy, but honestly, based on the things that I've seen on the internet, he seems like he has just nailed the persona of these types of people. No, dude, stay away from the child!
But then he started going for more, so I bonked him with the pool ball.
But Cameron apparently knows how to kick ass, and his pacifism dies the second his sister is involved. But oh no, why would you put your camera by the pool when there were at least 3 people who were perfectly able of carrying it for you? But he kicks Jordan's ass, unexpected fighting champ here, which is fun because, you know, he's in Cobra Kai. And suddenly he is super popular for kicking Jordan's ass, even though Jordan is still super popular. But it gets him nominated for Prom King, so bet's still a cruisin'. But now our friend Alden is not only running against her, but not just that, she also has been trying to sabotage her the entire time. She specifically kept live streaming that breakdown, and then she specifically invited Jordan to the karaoke party to mess with her. And starts throwing it in Paget's face that they know that she doesn't live in that really fancy apartment building and is probably poor. At least Quinn doesn't suck and has this cute little gay side story here. I just love that her being with a girl is just like a thing. Like, they don't try to detour it and make it anything bigger. It's just a cute little amazing little side story. I love it. So a lot of this movie focuses on the fact that Cameron loves taking pictures but never shows them to anybody, but then he invites her over to see them. Which is when she becomes so overwhelmed by her emotions that she kisses him, and just before she's about to tell him about the bet, he's like, oh my god, like, it's so nice to be able to trust somebody like this. So she rightfully kind of freaks out and leaves. But because of the kiss, he decides he's going to prom-pose, which would have gone great and amazing if Alden didn't come over and tell him about the bet, which I'm pretty sure would have negated the entire thing. If you purposely sabotage the bet, the terms are off, or you just become the insta-loser of the bet. Because, like, damn, this girl is a bitch. He has every right to be angry, though. This is super fucked up. I don't know how I'd handle a situation like this, but I'll be honest, though. In, like, 6th grade, a bunch of girls decided that they didn't want me to dress like a loser anymore and, like, pulled me under their wing. And then I found Avril Lavigne, and it just didn't stick. So it's prom night, and her mom ends up giving her a speech about how everything's gonna be okay, and it's like never too late to make up for like mistakes that you've made. So Paget decides to go talk to Cameron's little sister to explain kind of the situation that happened and how she messed up, and see if she can help at least get Cameron to the school so that she can make some kind of like big spectacle. And this is where we get a lot more of that emotion injected in. It actually goes over how the sister noticed that Cameron was happy and himself again for the first time since their mom died, and she just doesn't want him to close back in again. It was emotional. I had an emotional reaction known as tears. So we get to prom, and holy shit, the principal is Matthew Lillard. They brought him back too because he was the douchebag reality star in the original. I love it. I love Matthew Lillard. And you know, things were going like so well there for a bit, and then they had to toss in this random coordinated dance routine to kick off prom. I take back everything I said. Just go watch Clueless. Do that anyways.
We have some weird-ass traditions at this school.
Oh no, we are not playing this up as a school tradition, you TikTok weirdos. Like seriously, how the hell does Nisha know the dance routine? So Jordan wins prom king, meaning that Paget loses, but she does win prom queen. And this is where she decides to tell everybody that this influencer life she lives is largely fake by showing a bunch of like real photos that look completely normal and not at all embarrassing, and except for the snot bubble one. But she makes this big speech about how all teenagers are just essentially afraid and just trying to do the best that they can, and like it's better just to like, you know, be yourself. Not as good as the Mean Girls speech, but she gives the crown back. So Alden runs in to try to claim it because she's assuming she's the one that almost tied for first, but it turns out that she came in 4th.
I demand a recount.
There's no need, you actually lost by a lot.
Get fucked? Aw, then they bring back Kiss Me, the classic song that the original ended with.
Why do I know this song?
Kiss me.
And of course, dude shows up on a freaking horse to be her prom date, accepts her apology because he heard the entire thing. They have a nice little moment and they just ignore all the calls from Jessica Miles Torres. Good plan though. I hear that family likes to market diet teas that just make you shit a bunch. So it cuts to the end and it looks like instead of going to college, Paget decided to travel the world with Cameron, and instead of being a makeover vlogger, she has become a lifestyle travel vlogger. Definitely different, but also very much in the same sphere. But you know what? If I could get paid to travel, I absolutely would. That sounds amazing. We finally find out what loser for life means. It literally means getting the word loser tattooed on your body, so I was right. And Cameron gets one with her. So cute, because aren't we all losers at heart? I maintain that she didn't lose though. The second Alden told Cameron about the bet, she lost. She was the real loser here. Anyways, that was He's All That. I might be being a little bit more positive on this because like I expected it to be so much worse than it actually was. So like maybe this really isn't good. If you're looking for like the R-rated teen romp that the original was, like you're not gonna get that here. There's no pew pizza, no underage drinking, minimal swearing. Literally, I think there was only one and the rest were all like heavily edited down to things like frick and crap as if they were trying to appease the YouTube algorithm. But thematically, it's pretty much exactly the same as the original with a modern social media twist. So that's gonna do it for today's video. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you to Nihilist and for being my latest patron at the Jedi Knight level. Thanks as always to my other Patreon supporters. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, leave a like on the video if you're into that kind of thing. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. I'm mostly okay, and we'll catch you all later. Mostly okay. That's probably a good way to describe this movie.